this may seem incredibly obvious to many people, but one thing I didn't realize is that when it comes to grinding at certain nodes, for example, if you grind, say, giants, right? You look at this and see Primal Giant Post, and you think, oh, wow, let me invest in this so that when I grind here, I get drops and bonuses, right? So I've maxed the level out on this. I'm like, okay, so now at the Primal Giant Post, like it says right here, I should get really good drops because I've maxed out my energy investment. However, that is not the case. In fact, the node for Primal Giants is not Primal Giant Post where the icon is, but it's to the south, Primal Giant Post. Now, to some, maybe you're thinking, no, duh, this is incredibly obvious. I'm supposed to invest in this node if I'm going to grind at this place. But if you're like me, you see a big picture, and I'm a visual learner, and I see this big picture, and I think, oh, that's
stupid.
That's where the giant. If I invest my energy here, the giants are going to give me better drops, and awesome. But no, that is not the case. Now, visually, I find this confusing and contradictory, and so on. That's my point here. But however, there is a very good solution. Thankfully, BDO has added this Monster Zone info interface, which is, I think, awesome. I did play the game before this was invented, so to speak. And so finding information about given Monster Zone was even more difficult. But here you can see everything. Drops, AP, DP, requirements. I mean, it's super, super useful. One thing that I didn't realize was on this, it's a little bit buried in the interface, is up here in the upper right. You see this? This tells you which node to invest in. And look, it says Primal Giant Post is the connected node. Now, for those of you out there who think this is obvious, good on you. You are a smart person. Congrats. But to normal human beings like me, to me, I'm a visual person, like I said. So seeing a giant icon with the monster that I'm grinding makes me think that the proper grind spot is where the giant is, as opposed to Primal Giant Post. See, I see this, I think, oh yeah, that's where the giants are. Look, there's a big giant there. I know the node is Gehaku Plains, whatever. I know that. And I realized I wasted a ton of energy leveling this up to 20. It probably has no point whatsoever. I mean, maybe regular giants? I don't know. Let's look at the Monster Zone info and look for giant. See if there's the Primal Giant Post, and then maybe it's something else. See, giants. Elvia. What about the regular guys that are there? The regular giants? I don't know what they're called. Yeah, I don't see it. Interesting. There's Primal Giants. I guess it's both the same node then. Oh, well. Good night. Oh, well, that might explain it. That's why I was stuck in one of the territories. Well, it is Calfian Terry, so it should be here, shouldn't it? I don't know. At the end of the day, this interface, they're really trying to convey. There's so much information that is conveyed about that you can find or that is relevant to your game mechanics when it comes to grinding and stuff. And so this is super useful. I would say any major point of contention, do not put the monster icon next to an irrelevant node. That's just
stupid.
Bad design. I understand this is a detailed game and you need to have your details down, but let's really think about moving these icons that represent the monsters you grind to the relevant place. This really should be right here. This thing right here. In any case, that's my 2 cents, and I hope that letting you know that you can find out whatever node to invest in, right? So who would have thought Achman is and Encado Coast. Like, right. Right? Like, I would have never thought of that. And then in Histria is another one. So here's Histria, right? So Histria is Pilgrim's Sanctum Obedience. So let me just show you how off this is. So here's Pilgrim's Sanctum Obedience, right? Is the Histria runes place where you can, grind, right? And history is entered by this teleportation device. I'm not going to go through it right here, but there's this teleportation node in the desert that randomly appears. Well, it used to randomly appear at certain spots that will take you to Achaman or to Histria, right? And so this is Pilgrim Sanctum Obedience, History Ruins. Now here's the thing. You can enter the History Ruins manually now, right? And the place to enter them is here, right? Look at this. This is here, far to the south. This is the southern part of the desert, south of Valencia, right? This is the icon of the monster. Now you're thinking, okay, the Monster Zone info says that Histria is this Pilgrim's Rest node, right? Like Pilgrim's Sanctum Obedience. Pilgrim's Sanctum Obedience. Okay, so you'd think that by the graphic, right, over here, by the graphic in the south of the desert, way over here, okay, that this is the History Ruins, right? History of Ruins. You think right here there's going to be, oh, that's purity, not obedience. Rocky Mountain thing, that's a jail. Muy Quinn, okay. What's it? Humility. Oh, so where's obedience? Is humility. Here's the icon. Where's maybe this one? No, that's sharing. Is this another one? Fast. Wait a minute. Oh, here it is. Oh yeah, okay. That totally makes no sense. The history icon should be here. You should not have it here on something you can't even mark this. You can click on this if you have a compass, but it's not a node. It's just it'll get you to the History Ruins if you have a compass. Yeah, guys, that makes no sense. Okay? Now, here's the Encado Coast, right? Remember, that's for Achaman, right? The Achaman Monster Zone. Achaman and Encado Coast. It's worth noting that when you're going to Achaman or Histria, often you're headed in the southern part of the desert. This is where the node appears, where the nodes used to appear, or where they appear now in the southern part of the desert, sometimes up here by Pilgrim's Sanctum, Pilgrim's Haven, rather. This place to mine rocks and whatnot. So this place sometimes will have nodes here. But it really is super unclear. Arguably, you should have the icon for Histria, right, and the icon for Achaman in the respective nodes you can invest in. I really hope BDO takes this criticism into account. Although, kudos to them for creating this incredibly rich, Monster Zone info from the quests and everything else. I mean, this is fantastic. So it's a gripe because I spent 20 energy on the node associated with the icon of the monster, the primal giants, in Elvia. And I maxed out the wrong node thinking I was, maxing out the right one because the icon and placement. And the node for Histria is literally on the other side of the map, on the complete other side of the desert. It's hard to explain the scale, but this is about a 10-minute ride, north. It's a significant distance. This is way off from where the investment node is, right? Pilgrim's Sanctum Obedience. This crazy. Anyway, that's all. And not to be a complainer, but hopefully they consider that change to the UI.